These are all the PR gifted bottles I've received in the last 12 months. Free fragrances the brands have sent me. There's a lot of good stuff here. So I've distilled it down to pick my 10 favorites. So stay tuned for 10 out of 10 fragrances picked from this lot. For whatever reason, in the last 12 months, fragrance PR, fragrance gifting just went up a level. It could be a combination of factors. It might be that the longer I do this channel, the bigger it gets. It might be that I've been making more short form content, or that more brands have started to work with PR companies who are reaching out to more creators. What I've also noticed this year is there's been a real uptick in the gifting of designer fragrances. I never thought that would happen. That's great for me because it saves me a lot of money. It helps me to keep the content flowing on this channel. Quite simply, if it wasn't for all the PR gifting, I wouldn't be able to make the content that I do. So I am very blessed and I am very grateful. And I have acquired some amazing fragrances in the last 12 months. Some I've bought myself, but a lot has been gifted. So I've just picked from all the fragrances that I've been gifted, and as you saw in the intro, there are a lot, and I've picked 10 out of 10 fragrances that I love the most out of anything I've been gifted in the last 12 months. I am kicking off with a designer fragrance. I was really pleasantly surprised when this one was a good release, because sometimes with this brand, they're good, sometimes they're not quite as good, but this one was good. From Viktor & Rolf's Spicebomb Metallic Musk. The best Spicebomb fragrances are the ones that retain some of that original Spicebomb DNA, and Metallic Musk absolutely does. So much so that this could even be thought of as a rebooted Spicebomb. Spicebomb became popular because of the original Spicebomb, so I think to lock in to what made it so popular is a really smart move. They definitely did that with Metallic Musk. Another smart move is they've also got a little bit of Spicebomb Extreme in the background, but compared to Extreme and the original, this one seems a little airier, not lighter. It's still just as strong, if not stronger. It projects really well, but because it is a little airier, it makes it a little more versatile. This is a fragrance I can enjoy wearing all year round. It keeps everything that's great about Extreme and the original, makes it more versatile. This was a great release. There's a few reasons I love this next fragrance. I enjoy the brand. I think they're doing some great stuff. I enjoy the fragrance. I think it smells fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10. And because years ago, I used to work in an Odéon cinema. From Memo Paris, this is Odéon. This is actually a 2020 release, but I was gifted this in Cannes last year. It's a jammy rose with creamy sandalwood, chocolatey patchouli, smooth cashmere, and tonka bean, amber, and musks. Because the rose is jammy, it's got this sweet, addictive quality, so it doesn't lean too far to the feminine side of rose. This is a head-turning fragrance. It's a luxurious smelling fragrance. Just makes me feel good when I wear it. You know, some fragrances just vibe with you, just resonate with you in just the right way. I feel like I smell great when I wear this. I think it's a superb smell. I think it's a beautifully crafted fragrance. This was one of the best for me of the last 12 months. So, playful fragrances, I love them. Fragrances that are a little bit cheeky, a little bit mischievous, a little bit naughty, but smell fantastic, that get attention. I love all those things, which is why I love Playmate from Mind Games. Coconut milk, water lily, lemon, jasmine, gardenia, vanilla, musks, amber, and sandalwood. Another really addictive fragrance. It's creamy, it's milky, it's smooth, it's sensual. The white florals are a little bit indolic, a little bit carnal. There's some sexy musks. I can see why this is called Playmate, because it really does have a lot of fun with itself. I think Playmate is the perfect name. This is one of those fragrances that I smelled and I thought, maybe does it lean a little too much to the feminine, but I sprayed it on and it just worked. I think maybe fragrances that do lean a little feminine, when a guy wears them, sometimes they can catch people off guard in a really good way, and I think that happened with this. I've had several people mention how good this smells. It projects, it's strong. This is really good stuff from Mind Games. I've thoroughly enjoyed wearing this. I think this is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. Generally, the Azzaro Wanted line is great, and I think this was a really good addition to the line. This is Forever Wanted Elixir. Whenever there's a raspberry and leather combo, I am instantly won over, but when it's got the cool, fresh, spicy cardamom that really pops off, I was sold even more. A little bit of sweet Azzaro Wanted DNA, so it's definitely got that mass appeal. It's definitely something that is likely to get smelled by other people and pull in a few compliments. It's that sort of fragrance. Little bit of designerish Azzaro DNA, but that raspberry and leather make this one a little more grown up, a little more of a head turner. I think they give it a bit more attitude, a bit more depth, and a bit more gravitas. The fact that this smells so good that it came in this case just means Azzaro you're killing it.
If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description.
I was lucky enough to be invited to Harrods for the launch of this fragrance from Armani, and when I smelled it, instant love for me, because it's just doing a lot of things that I like. From the Privé line, it's Cuir. I like rose done in a masculine way. I like leather combined with rose, and I like coffee. And this has all those things that I like, which is why I like it so much. As soon as I smelled this on the day in Harrods, I knew that this was a room-filling fragrance. This was a real head turner, and I actually wore it a couple of days later. I was still in London. I was going to an evening event. I wore this fragrance. I was wearing a leather jacket, so this fragrance I thought would be perfect, and it absolutely was. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I walked into the event. Someone followed me in, and she said, me and the other girls outside were just wondering what you're wearing, because as you walked past, you smelled fantastic. It's just one of those head-turning fragrances. I turned heads wearing this on multiple occasions. This is an incredible fragrance, 10 out of 10. Perfumer Quentin Biche has got kind of a good hit rate at the moment, and I loved the first version of this, the EDT. Fantastic marine fragrance that was just doing something a little extra. And then they released the EDP. Thankfully, just as I was hoping, this retains the magic, the sparkle, the salty marine quality of the original, but this deepens things up. It adds some mysterious incense. As you'll see in a couple of fragrances time, Quentin Biche knows what he's doing with a bit of incense, and he has woven this beautifully into the sea salty DNA of the original EDT. And for me, the EDP is a little more impactful. It's a bit more powerful, it's a bit deeper, richer, it's a little creamier. It's also a bit longer lasting as well, so if you wanted the use case situation for this fragrance, I would say the original EDT would be your daytime scent. I think probably summer would be great for it, but it's got a little bit extra to it, so versatile enough probably to wear all year round. And then the EDP would be your evening, either a summer's evening or any evening. That incense just brings it into evening territory for me. It has a little more impact. This was a great release from last year. Sticking with sea salty marine, this is marine notes combined with one of the best vanilla accords I've ever smelled. From Atelier Des Ors, it's Novae vanilla. 3 different types of vanilla in this, and they smell fantastic. Real vanilla that can sort of smell a little bit animalic. So this is not sugary sweet vanillin. It's not just creamy, indulgent custardy vanilla. This is proper vanilla. So good starting point with proper vanilla, well done Atelier Des Ors, but to combine it with an almost seaweedy, sea salty, marine, mineralic accord, it just works so well. It makes the vanilla even more impactful. It makes the fragrance so interesting. I think it's probably quite unique to me anyway, to get such great vanilla with these mineralic, seaweedy, sea salty accords. The juxtaposition between the 2 different sides of the fragrance just really do it for me. Absolutely stunning fragrance. I've had people tell me how much they enjoy me wearing this. I've loved this from Atelier Des Ors. We've already talked about Quentin Biche and his incense, but this is Quentin Biche doing incense, firing on all his incense cylinders, like all of them. This is nuclear. Amouage Purpose 50. This is incense. It's spicy, it's incensey. There's creamy sandalwood, vanilla, Akigala wood, a little bit of suede leather, and it's incensey. Quentin Biche has done a few fragrances along these lines, working with incense and Akigala wood. It just seems to be a signature DNA that he is a master. He's a magician at creating fragrances with these sort of notes in. You only need to have a couple of sprays of this. I've made the mistake of overspraying this, and yeah, you want people to smell you when you walk into a room, but I felt like I wore this on an event in London and I overpowered everyone else in the room. I beat their fragrances into submission. All you could smell in the room was me wearing Purpose 50. Someone at the other end of a really long table said, someone's wearing Amouage Purpose 50, and I put my hand up. It's an incredible smell. I love wearing this one so much. I definitely only need a couple of sprays, but with this one, less is more. It's a 10 out of 10. I am so glad to have this at my disposal. I am so lucky that Amouage sent this one to me. Thank you to the brand. This is incredible. I'm gonna have to stick with Amouage for the next one. This is one of their newest releases in the Essences line. It's from master perfumer Julien Rasquinet, and he absolutely killed it with this one. It's Sequence. A little bit fruity up top, there's raspberry and lychee. Then in the heart there's some rose, there's some robust leather, some oud and amberwood. Nice bit of bright, slightly tropical red fruitiness up top, some spicy rose in the heart, and then leather and oud providing tons of firepower in the base. The oud is absolutely there and it smells high quality, but it's not funky, it's not animalic, it's not barnyardy, it's just oud at its best. It's super strong, it's a real statement piece. Like so many of the other fragrances in this video, when I wear this, it gives me a feeling, it gives me a sense of added assuredness, of extra confidence. And I know that that should all come within, and primarily it does, but if a fragrance can just help those feelings come out, then you're onto something good, and this one absolutely does that. Finally, a fragrance that I'd been aware of the hype for pretty much a decade. I'd never bought it, but every time I went into a store, I smelled it, and I always toyed with the idea of buying it, and I was on the verge of pulling the trigger, and then the brand got in touch and said, hey, can we send it to you? And I said, no, don't bother, I was gonna buy it. And then I changed my mind and said, sure, you can send it to me. Tuxedo from YSL. This is a 10 out of 10 masculine fragrance. There's violet leaf, rose, black pepper, patchouli, vanilla and ambergris. And you know what, if someone told me there was a little bit of whiskey in this, I'd go, yeah, I can get that. There's a little bit of a boozy quality. Not quite sure where that's coming from, but I love it. I love a bit of booze in fragrance. There's a little bit of that violet leaf, leather, gasoline thing that you get in Fahrenheit, but not to the same degree and much smoother than that. But that makes this fragrance such a masculine smell. It's got attitude, but it's got refinement. It's got sophistication. I love this. Nailed on, 10 out of 10. I could not believe it when the brand offered me this. Again, I am so lucky to have this in my collection. What a stunning selection of fragrances. And let me tell you, I received some incredible fragrances all throughout the year. The bar was set high. So to any of the brands who have gifted me any fragrances and I've not mentioned them in this video, that does not mean that I don't like them. I probably do like them, I probably love them, but I just had to pick 10. And these are the 10 that vibed with me the most, the 10 I've been wearing the most, the 10 that are just a bit of me, that really resonate with me, my style, my personality. So I just thought it would be interesting to show you what I've received in the year, and also to pick out, to distill everything down to the 10 that I've loved the most from the last 12 months of the PR that I've been gifted. So thank you to all the brands who've sent me fragrances. You have really helped me to keep pushing out the content this year, and hopefully it's been good content. If you think it has been good, please drop a like on the video, it really helps. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, bye.